Hello. So while we were set up, I thought I would crack on with my next top 100, part of my top 100. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. So we are on 60 to 51. Without further ado, remember this is the games that I would like to kind of play at any one given point. So the number 60 is Russian Railroads. Uh, Great game. One of my first worker placement games. I just really enjoyed playing it. Simple to play, good instructions, but not according to everyone. We have Trojan. This is old news. This conspiracy here. So we'll crack on. Played it once, and I hate this game. It's convoluted and non-confrontational. I had no idea how to play until halfway through the game, and even then I had no clue on how to actually score. Played it twice, and yep, still crap. Could have been okay if the board wasn't so obtuse. I mean, I don't think the board is obtuse. I mean, the player boards, maybe, but the board itself is fairly consistent with the theme of the game. You have a place, you put your workers there. That's how many you have to put there. That's what you get. It's easy. And the rules were actually really good for this one. But, you can't please everyone. Russian Railroads is 7.8 on average, a rating of 3.41. I think that's a tad high, but what do I know? Clearly nothing. Let's move on. We are on to 59, which is Outlive. Outlive is another worker placement game. They are sort of my bread and butter of my list. So I really like them. And here we have a absolutely bang on the money, fair critique of the game with a 1 rating from Gross Mutter, which I think means gross mother, equals out a few 10 ratings because that's your job. When people overrate a game, you must come on and equal it out with a 1, forgetting the fact that Board Game Geek has a system to do that. So Outlive is a clever worker placement game with some really good art. Even if you don't like the game, you've got to say that Le Boat de Jeu just do phenomenal productions. I have the deluxe version. Was lucky enough to get that in the after the Kickstarter, and it's after a unknown kind of apocalyptic situation. You're raiding a city. You're waiting to get picked up. There's no zombies or anything like that, but you're trying to maintain your shelter by clever use of resources. But each of your workers have a strength value, and you can potentially scare other people off from the places where they get put. Really like it. I think it's really clever. I just think it's a great game. That is Outlive at number 59. Coming down to 58 is The Ruhr. The Ruhr, which is a worker placement game, but not a simple one. However, the worst rating we could find a comment on was 3, and that is one and done. That's it. I'm never playing it again and giving it a 3 rating. Why not? Seems fair. The Ruhr, as I say, is pick up and deliver. It's in the Cole trilogy, which Hashful Connect, Hashful whatever is in as well. I like that game too. The worst thing about this was the rule book wasn't really clear on which components because it's got 2 boards, and so one board requires slightly different components to the other, and it isn't quite clear which components are which, if you're not familiar with American flags in history, particularly. So this is the Ruhr. You're delivering goods up and down this river, but the way movement works is really clever. You've got to manipulate and use the dice in a clever way to efficiently deliver your stuff. Love it. My number 58 is the Ruhr. Moving on to 57, in carrying on the coal theme, is Coal Baron. I'm not sure, no, and it might be just because I haven't played it for a while, but I have played it a lot. I'm not sure if it would be this high up as of now because I've played a lot more worker placement games. Having said that, it is fun, it is easy to play, and I like the kind of element of overcrowded. So if you want to use a space that's already been used by a worker, you can put more workers on it to use it, and that kind of escalates into a battle between people, which I think is really fun. However, I may be wrong. It's pretty much as boring as they could make it. To be fair, it's got a working cardboard lift. I mean, you have to push it up and down, but it's in a track, it's dual layered, it goes up and down. That's not boring, mate. Do one. An antiquated design from designers whose best days are past them. Isn't this Kiesling and Kramer? Whose best days are past them. Azul disagrees, mate. They were great in their day, but this is not their day. Egg in your face. Very dry game, and it's super annoying how the majorities, there are 12 things in which you score majorities, can be swingy by just one. No engine building. Seems maybe it lists engine building in the genres, but that seems a rather random last parting comment. Points out, everyone scores. I mean, usually in games, everyone scores. Winners determined less by strategy than by whether other players are going for similar objectives as you, thus diluting your score, which is a strategy, surely. Go for different things. Here we go. Look at this, the elevator. That, oh yes. I mean, that picture there, that camera angle makes me feel a bit sick. But I like what they've done because they've made it look like it's actually descending into a coal shaft. But I know that's upside down, so it's making me feel a bit giddy. Coal Baron, just a lovely little game, simple to play. I really like the card version as well, which adds something different. Without straying too far from the path. Bunny Kingdom is number 56. Drafting and area control, two things I love. If I had worker placement, it would be perfect to take this hand off. It would be perfect. Not my cup of tea. Feels very mechanical and rather pointless. I mean, in some ways we could argue all games are pointless. Not much planning involved as you depend on what luck brings you. Yeah, I mean, but then you draft that luck to choose a strategy. I hate the multiplication factor system and end scoring on the fuzzy board and components. Where is the theme? And why bunnies in a kingdom? Sounds like pure nonsense to me, and just another net game that is designed for the sake of creating another meaningless prop with VP. Well, if it were funny or exciting, ... I mean, a lot of games are pure nonsense if we examine them that closely. Bunny Kingdom is... What is this? This is Bunny Kingdom with the... That must be a prototype or something. Because that is not Bunny King... Come on, find the bunnies. Where are the bunnies? Oh, for pity's sake. So you have this board that you're trying to create big groups of bunnies on, and you can stick them in buildings and all sorts. There we go. There was a little bit of annoyance with the smallness of the board. They did bring out a bigger board. I thought I had the small board and ordered another board. So now I have two big boards. But, you know, just in case, rainy day and all that. I just really liked it. The drafting was clear. You're getting coordinates, so you have to choose the ones that you want to prioritize. A lot of the cards are good. So you want to kind of... Excuse me. You want to kind of develop your strategy as you go. But yeah, strategy, you're not going to be able to put much into it. It's by Richard Garfield. You know, come on. Next is Mission Red Planet. Oh my goodness, I love this game. But this person doesn't. I'll never feel anything again. I thought my bouts of serious existential depression had passed. My therapist even suggested dropping my medication. Then I encountered this game. Any hope or belief I had in the world around me crumbled. I mean, this might be a true story. I shouldn't laugh. As I turned the cards over and moved little plastic nightmare people around a board that is apparently Mars. I hope this review serves as a warning to people so they can avoid the same cold and empty existence I now live. My wife left me. The kids hate me. Even my pet rat Scuffles fled when I accidentally left his cage open. Why? Why do bad things have to happen? I mean, I'm just gonna open this. I'm not gonna look at it now, but I want to look at this person's other reviews because I sense this might be satirical in nature. Obviously, I don't think the game's that bad. You are choosing simultaneous actions that are numbered. Every player has the same cards. And you're using those to load up shuttles and then launch them towards Mars to score points and area control. It works super well. The components are great. God, I'm really yawning today. And most of the world agrees with me with a 7.5 rating. Let's crack right on to 764, 54. Oh, Downforce. Game of racing and betting. Played it twice. Won one game, lost the other. Just telling you for context. Thanks, mate. It's a super lucky game, and that's okay. I can enjoy a luck fest, but don't believe the illusion of those colourful cards that are going to change things much. You may get a bunch of good cards, probably wilds, and win. Or you can get some crap cards and watch other people have fun. A lucky racing game should have some big swings to foster excitement. There is nothing exciting seeing nobody move the red car and its embedment in last place for the next 30 minutes. The hard map had bottlenecks where the cars bunched up and your car would sometimes move nothing. It was so disempowering. You can bet on cars, but that won't be enough money to save you. Wait a while and play that card that doesn't matter. Hold on to your 8 card and then wait till the bottleneck is gone so you can be further ahead but still in last place. What? How can you be further ahead but still in last place? I mean, that doesn't work. This is a retheme of Abandoned Ship, which is a much better game. In that game, combinations of different colour rats give you... There's a lot of strong rat theme today. Give you points so everyone wants to move out the same rats. Cars. Players can share desire for several cars to win, and that balances things out. However, there's a little disagreement even within the poor ratings. This is a remake of Daytona 500. I'm afraid it's not. It's Abandoned Ship, mate. One of my favourites, all-time favourites, and most underrated game. Blah, blah, blah. Well, again, as often happens, the reasons this person says the game is bad, I quite like. I feel like you do have control. You get your cards at the start, so you try and use them to bid for the colour of card that you want. When you play the cards, do we have any cards on the pictures? They have a list of colours, and you have to move every single car on it from top to bottom. So there is a definite strategy to it. Yes, you get the luck of the cards, but then you've got to use those cards to push your cars forward the most. And when things bottleneck, you can use cards that move your opponent's cards more to waste their moves. One of the things I like most about Downforce, the cards. I've also found that there is a Mario Kart variant, which makes me very happy. So Downforce for me gets 54. Moving on to 53 is Stockpile. I see some nice ideas in the game, but I hated playing it so much. Sorry, but I'm not trying to be objective with my ratings. This is how the game makes me feel. I hate shares both as a theme and a mechanism. I got asked the question here, why were you playing Stockpile then? Because shares are the theme and the mechanism of this game. It's too random for me, and for the length, I mean, this should just be a love letter length game with multiple rounds, best out of 5 or something, and then you wouldn't just watch how some people keep splitting their shares while others just keep losing it. I'm losing it with your comment, pal. Stockpile is a shares game. You are, there's also some bidding. You are trying to get shares in the companies that are going to double and ditch shares and sell shares in the companies that are going to bust. You can split shares. You have some limited information to guess what the market will do, and you can see the way other people bid, what the market sense, what the market will do from the other people bid. The minimum information you have is two little shares there. So yeah, that seems like a harsh rating, really. I like Stockpile. It's my favourite kind of money-based game that I played at that point. It'd be interesting to see if I prefer Raccoon Tycoon. But certainly with stocks, just brilliant, simple, brilliant. The continuing corruption expansion really adds a lot as well. We're going down to 52, which is Scythe. Got some issues with some comments here, so we're going to get serious. Lives off the art, stagnant, uninspired, unbalanced, derivative. I swear I can normally speak. Gameplay. This publisher is unethical and hypocritical, May 2009. Now, it's sad to see this happen, really, because those of you who don't know, there's been a bit of extreme banter between Stonemaier Games, who publish Scythe, and a retailer in America. And actually, if you go and have a look at Stonemaier blogs and look into the situation, first thing, it's hard for anyone outside the situation to make any judgments. Second thing, I think Stonemaier have put up quite a lot of information about how they operate, and you might not like that, but to come and rate their game a 1 because of that is childish. Traced art ruins a game for me. Shame. Again, terrible reason to give 1 rating. Another game I really don't like, but this is one of the first that had me not liking it from turn 1. I kind of stuck through the whole game, but I regret that. The worst part is I felt like I was losing from the point I realised the fraction placement and mine was against what I had planned to do. I guess it's like Blood Rage that completely polarises me, even though it's not a horrible game. Fair enough. Scythe has a lot of mechanics going on. You have a board, and people think it's going to be a war game, but it's not. Even though it has these massive mechs, you tend to use them to scare people off. And then this board is very clever. As you put stuff out onto the main board, you unlock new abilities, cheaper powers, and all that sort of thing. And the board is difficult to move on at first, especially through water until you get that mech out. But there's just a nice flow to the game. I've been very impressed with this from the first time I played it. I don't actually own it, but I would like to. And lastly for today is Riverboat, which is my 51. I haven't even looked at ratings on this one. Come on. Let's see. No 1s, no 2s, only 1 3. Oh, this is doing well, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Riverboat is a Euro-style game where each phase offers a different mechanic. There are a few exciting moments here. Arranging workers to prepare for planting crops is a fun mini-puzzle in the middle of the game. Also, deciding when and how to score is key. During each turn, players can only score a couple of times, so capitalising on the opportunity at the right time is key. Unfortunately, everything that makes Riverboat unique is overshadowed by similar mechanics in Kiesling's other 2017 release, Heaven and Ale. Riverboat is a bit easier to teach and grasp, but it lacks the depth and connection of the actions that makes Heaven and Ale such an exciting play. Riverboat does have its own share of interesting moments. Drafting to be the first player in each phase is novel and gives something new to think about. With a game remarkably similar to his other titles, I would like to see more interaction. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, Riverboat, yeah, there are similarities to Heaven and Ale, but I don't think in gameplay so much. You are trying to build up your crops and make long chains as per normal. You're also managing your I can't even remember what they're called. Your white meeples up here. You're trying to get up a what's that called? A pier. Which seems like a really important way to go, but there's loads of good ways to score, and I am a sucker for Kiesling. I just think his games really gel well with me. So we are through from 60, which was Russian Railroads, 59 was Outlive, 58 The Ruhr, A Story of Coal Trade, 57 Coal Baron, 56 Bunny Kingdom, 55 Mission Red Planet, 54 Downforce, 53 Stockpile, 52 Scythe, 51 Riverboat. Like I say, it's probably changed now, but they're all the games that I'd be enjoying last year and before. Next time we'll be into the top 50, and I'll try and get some more people in with me, either live next to me or alternatively invite them in via Skype, the gift of Skype. If you've joined me, thanks very much. If you're watching on, YouTube, then thanks very much as well. Let me know your comments on some of my picks down below in the comment section, and we will see you next time.